This is transposable. So look, this is A major, like I said, yeah? Chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, yeah? Chord 6, upper step, chord 7, back to chord 1 again. I mean, the dusty end of the neck. And those are all those 7th chords. Now, all I need to do with this idea, this is the beauty of it being transposable, this A shape, and this is beautiful the way it works. If we think about an old school G chord, look at this. You know that old sort of Bob Dylan-y style G, yeah? We've got 3 fingers on the strings here. We're strumming 6 strings, but 3 of the exposed strings, the D, the G, and the B string, well, they're ringing open. And the reason it's okay is because those are the 5th, the root, and 3rd of the G chord, okay? We've got the triad in there. It's a second inversion triad. So we take that there and we think to ourselves, just those 3 strings, that's a G chord. That's G all day, yeah? Move up, there's A. Remember how this works. Between E and F and between B and C, half step. So G, A, that's B. That's C. Half step up there. Here's D. Here's E. Here's F, a half step up. And here's the G again. And then here's the A. So because this is the 5R3 that we just used to turn into these 7th chords, what we can do is we can think to ourselves, okay, well, let's look at this. Let's do it in the key of C major. Let's transpose the idea. Here it is in C major. This is chord 1. Go up a whole step, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4. It's a different visualization, right? Okay, chord 7 is just there. Look, it's that B minor 7 flat 5, half diminished chord. I can even play chord 6 there. I could take that whole idea now, so I've gone G, A, B, C. Let's do it in the key of D. So if we look at that, 5R3, thinking this is chord 1, chord 2. What's fun to do with this actually is we can do chromatic movement in between those. Then we can also, now if those big chords look like it would menace your hands and it would make you think, oh no, there's no way I can tackle that, well, you can strip it all down. I don't think these major 7s are too hard because, you know what, you can bar, but you don't need to. If you're not playing the thin E string and you're not playing the thick E string, you don't need to bar all the way across there. And sometimes it's nice not to bar and actually get rid of that 7th. Look at that. So this is... that G's just ringing throughout that. Yeah, but we can add that extra colour if we want. We can change around with those, change the personality of the chord. And that's the way to think of chords. Chords have a personality and an emotional value. So this idea, key of B flat, you would think that was horrendous, but there it is. Key of B flat, chord 2, 3, 4. I'm going to play 5 here. There's a 9th chord. There's chord 6. So what this is doing is this is going all the way up and down the neck here. Let me just show you something else around this. I played those all in A shapes there. And at the beginning, I mentioned 5R3 in 3 of these shapes. So we've got the E shape, A shape, and D shape. We've talked about the A shape. Let's just look at that. How would that modify for the E shape going up in the key of E? Let's do it in the key of E first, yeah? Well, that's the full shape. If I want it to be the major 7, like I could play it there like that. Can you see that chord there, guys? Can you see the shape of that? It's almost like I've got this little kind of E minor-y shape there and this crooked third finger going over there. But if we remember, I don't need the A string because I don't need that extra fifth. I can mute that out with the tip of that index finger just there. It's not the nicest way to play an E major 7. Yeah, but it's in key, but you can equally play it like that. That doesn't sound too bad, that, actually. Right, chord 2. We're going to use the same shapes that we used here for chords 1 and 2 and 3. So look, there's chord 2. Move it up a whole step. Chord 3. That's the same shape as this. Yeah. But I'm just going to put that extra fifth there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to chord 5. Well, let me explain chord 5. There's the full shape. Remember, this would be chord 1, chord 4, chord 5. This is a 7th chord. This is a dominant 7th chord. This is 5, R3. We take the root, major 7, flat 7. It's got a different 7th in it to the major 7th. So get this shape. There's the full E shape. If we take the pinky off, it opens up the string to the note that's being held on the bar there. Now that's really good if you want to play all 6 strings. So you can get lots of cool things going on there with that bass end sort of thing, very kind of 60s and 70s soul sort of vibes. This 7th chord, but this will also shell down as well. So look, we take this 5th here, we get rid of it, and we end up with this shape. Well, we can have this shape. I've seen this shape used a lot, and I do use this shape. Hang on, what does that shape look like? Drop it down a string, and it looks like our D shape again. So let's take this one up here, up the neck. We've got E major 7, chord 1. F sharp minor 7, which is chord 2, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, back to chord 6. Look at the shape, it's the same as chord 3, chord 2, yeah, so got that there. Now, here, we can keep this shape here for chord 7, and then we add this flat 5 just here to make sure we get that proper sounding chord 7, and then chord 1 just fits on the end just there. So and like the A shape, we can transpose this all the way up the neck as well. So let's say we're doing this in the key of G, chord 1, chord 2, chord 3, chord 4. And I think sometimes seeing where the chromaticism can happen in between chords 2 and 3 is good for helping us just to keep on track. Yeah? You see there? And then chord 5 goes here. It's getting a bit silly up here with the frets. Okay. And we could move that anywhere we want to. But the cool thing is that you can see now, in context, if I apply this, chord 1, 2, 3. I'm in my grid here. Here's chord 6. Here's chord 5. Here's chord 4. And here's back to chord 1. We can tie into this idea of using the grid and using this linear movement.